with, oh my goodness.
Holy
Oh my
Toledo.
goodness.
I would say it looks as fragile as it is.
Maybe don't.
Maybe don't touch it? Okay.
My tongue is numb.
I guess I'll take the clue then. I'll take the first one. From a land abounding in the pure.
Like crystal clear.
That doesn't really give me anything. Does it give
Yeah.
you anything?
No.
We'll see if the box does.
Oh my gosh. Doesn't that look pure?
Yeah.
So this specimen is aquamarine
Yes.
on albite and muscovite. So the albite is that slightly peachish white material, and then the muscovite is the metallic grayish. This is from Pakistan. When people think of aquamarine, they often think of Brazil because a lot of the aquamarine on the market comes from Brazil. But actually there are other localities that are really important for aquamarine, including Pakistan.
Apparently the name of the country, Pakistan, translates to a land abounding in the pure, which is awesome.
Aquamarine is in the beryl family. The beryl family includes other things like heliodor, goshenite, morganite, emerald, which everyone knows about. Aquamarine is the green to greenish blue, sometimes yellowish blue variety that is colored by iron. Look at that hexagon.
Looks like a little stop sign.
It does look like a stop sign. Beryl is in the hexagonal crystal system, and so most aquamarines are hexagonal prisms, and they have flat faces on the end, often with rectangular etch pits on the prism faces, and so they're actually usually quite easy to identify just from their crystals.
We're told that we actually have even bigger on the way, so why don't we bring some of those out?
Brittany's helping us with, oh my goodness.
Holy
Oh my
Toledo.
goodness. Look at
Our
that.
aqua to muscovite ratio is very different in these two specimens. Look at all these blades. Knowing Micah, I would say it looks as fragile as it is because it flakes off. It's like iridescent. If you rub it, you'll get a little sparkly, you'll get glitter on your fingers, basically.
Aquamarine is about a 7.5 to 8 on the
Yeah.
Mohs scale of hardness, so pretty durable. It's a type 1 clarity stone, and so you can get really nice, clear crystals.
I glance down and I'm seeing right through this crystal to the stand.
Oh, that's fun.
Aquamarine is clear as can
the
be.
sea,
Very
maybe?
Aquamarine comes from Latin and means seawater. So, you can
See what?
see.
Is a beryllium aluminum silicate.
Beryllium is not readily available on Earth. It's pretty rare.
It's one of the few gemstones that has beryllium in its chemical composition. So both of these are from Pakistan. The mining region is in northeastern Pakistan, slightly north of the Himalayan mountain range, which is a super rich area geologically. Where these are mined specifically, you have to climb a mountain to access these veins.
You're at such a high altitude that internal combustion engines, in a car, don't work very reliably at all. So a lot of the issue with mining in Pakistan is how much of this rough material am I gonna take off in order to make my load lighter because I gotta walk it down a freaking mountain with my own feet. That just makes specimens like these even more special.
So they actually use dynamite to blast through the mountains. That can be a fairly risky way of procuring gems.
You go in, you drill a hole, you set a stick of dynamite in there, you tie it all together, you light the fuse, you book it out of the tunnel, and then you count the explosions, and then if it's we were supposed to have 5 explosions, I only heard 4. Well, who's gonna go in there and check on the last explosion? I'm not gonna do it. You draw straws. It's risky business.
I personally value gems there from a locality perspective in a different way because the difficulty that people have.
It's
figuring
astounding. Depending on the altitude at which the deposit occurs, you can have only a handful of months to mine. This stuff it's very difficult to get at, and really a lot of miners utilize basic tools to unearth these specimens.
Yeah, it's a lot of artisanal miners, not super highly mechanized, massive production. It's very locally based.
So also is the sort of selling and exchanging of hands, and there's actually a really interesting sort of secret system for auctioning off these specimens like this.
Secret, it's now not gonna be a secret?
Well, hold on, just don't tell anybody. So, it happens under a sheet. picture this, right? You've
I'm
got a
picturing
sheet.
it.
You got a covering of some kind. The seller's got his specimens out. So the buyers put their hands under the blanket, find the seller's hands, and depending on how many fingers you squeeze individually at the same time indicates how much you're willing to pay for the specimen. So
Okay.
you're the seller, right? This is your specimen. And
And
you've
you're
got
gonna
you've
bid.
got an idea of how much you want to let it go for, and I've got an idea of how much I'm willing to pay. So, one finger, 100 rupees. Higher, lower.
Higher.
Okay. If I go,
Kidding me?
if I go 1, 2, in sequence like that, 200 rupees. How am I doing?
You need to go way higher.
If I grab 2 fingers at the same time, 1,000 rupees. How am I doing now?
You're not even close.
3 fingers, 10,000 rupees. At the same time, 3 fingers.
That might sound impressive, but that's like $130.
Yeah. Final offer, I'm walking away. 100,000 rupees for that specimen there.
You're walking away.
Man, this one's for you.
Oh, awesome. From the land of the blue dragon. Okay, we'll see what it
Okay.
is, and then we'll maybe.
Is that like a flavor of Gatorade or what?
Yeah. Oh, it looks like it.
It
Ice
kind of
blue.
does,
What-
actually. Oh,
It is.
wow, look at this
Look,
thing.
that is amazing. It just
No
split
way.
right in two. Look how glassy that luster looks. It looks very
Yeah, that's crazy.
right. This aquamarine is from Vietnam. Vietnam is actually shaped like a dragon, and it's obviously surrounded by water, and so it's called the land of the blue dragon.
Awesome. Speaking of modern gem locales, Aquamarine was only discovered in Vietnam in like 1985, I think. But there's still only one district where this is really commercially viable and available in the country.
As you can see, this piece has a little bit richer of a blue. It's a little bit darker than these pieces from Pakistan. One thing that Vietnamese aquamarines are known for are their deeper, richer color. That is a result of a higher concentration of iron. We actually have a whole box of aquamarines from Vietnam, so let's... Oh, look at that.
No way. Look at all these guys.
They're so pretty.
This guy's so green. So
He
this
is
guy.
green. Yeah. Most of the time for barrels, you're gonna have a flat termination at the top. It's called a pinacoid
Dude,
face.
look at all of these. Yeah.
Yep. But sometimes you can get a more pyramidal termination. That's a great
Wow.
example of that.
I don't know that I've ever seen a termination like that on an aqua. It looks like a Lego lightsaber.
So aquamarines from Vietnam are known to have these pyramidal terminations more than aquamarines from other localities. Almost all of these have those.
Yeah. This one has the rain inclusions in it. It's kind of hard to see with the naked eye.
Rain is a term for a series of inclusions that are common in aquamarine. So these are essentially long, hollow growth tubes that run parallel to a certain direction that look like rain inside the crystal.
It can be pretty attractive.
We'd love to keep looking at these, but we have one more box.
We got one more box. Is it my turn?
Yes.
All right, clue time. From a country named for its arid desert, but known for its abundant gems.
I know what it is. Namibia.
The
For
Namib
sure.
Desert.
For sure. It's
Undoubtedly.
actually, some people say it's the oldest desert in the world.
That doesn't even, the oldest desert, how old is the desert? How old is sand? Sorry.
Let's open the box.
Okay, there we go. Wow.
Oh my gosh. So this piece is from Namibia, and one reason why it's easy to tell that beyond the clue is because it has black tourmaline or schorl on it. You'll often see schorl and aquamarine paired together from growth conditions in these really beautiful specimens. A lot of aquamarine is from Namibia, which is on the southwestern coast of Africa. Actually, if you look at a map of Pangaea, you'll see that it's nestled right up against Brazil, which makes sense from a growth conditions perspective.
Look at the color difference when you look at it from the side versus
It's
top
incredible.
down.
So aquamarine has really distinct pleochroism. That one has actually a very interesting combination of colorless blue and a decent amount of green. Actually, this
guy's even
faceted
greener.
gem is pretty green. That is a phenomenal gemstone. So this one is actually from Africa. We're not entirely sure that it's from Namibia, but it is
That's
a
like one
whopper.
of the biggest faceted gems I think I've ever seen.
This one's actually a really interesting one from a cut perspective. It's an emerald cut, but the facets are super narrow.
Yeah.
I can't tell if this is an optical illusion or not. I can't tell if it's the parallel facets or if there are parallel inclusions in there. I think both.
Only the lapidary knows.
One thing that I think is really interesting is how you can get the same gem from different formation methods. Aquamarines from Namibia have a really interesting formation story.
So millions of years ago, you've got a volcano, right? It collapses in on itself. The magma chamber, which it sounds like something I wish I have in my house when I was like 9 years old. So the magma chamber of this massive volcano collapses on itself.
This process created a bunch of pegmatites in the area. Pegmatites are essentially igneous rock with like hollow pockets where there is an accumulation of different minerals and elements that over time can slowly cool and grow. So that's why you often have these long, slender, prismatic crystals. Aquamarine actually require slower, longer cooling for crystal formation. So in this long, slow cooling process, you get aquamarine as well as other gems and minerals like goshenite, heliodor, and the likes of it.
It's like the brisket of gemstones, low and slow.
Yeah. Well, and beryllium is really heat resistant. So you have really high temperatures and pressures contributing to the formation of aquamarine. Did you know that beryllium is so heat resistant that it's used in alloys in aircraft and spacecraft?
Really? Really?
Okay, so it's time to pick a closer look, but I am struggling.
I always have a hard time with this part. I choose this guy.
I think I'm gonna choose this guy.
That's kind of a close-ish second for me. I love the richness of the blue. That's like Jolly Rancher blue. It's like blue raspberry.
And we didn't mention this, but the depth of blue increases the value. So obviously the more blue, the more valuable.
What about the more shoral? I just like the variety of textures and colors on this one. I think it's pretty dang aesthetic.
It is. So take a closer look. So aquamarine is obviously a very popular gemstone, and there is so much to talk about when it comes to aquamarine.
Yeah, and actually we forgot to mention that it's the birthstone for March. So if March is your birth month, or if you just like aquamarine like we do, go and check out our new website, gemstones.com. You can find out all sorts of things about aquamarine or any of your favorite gemstones.
And don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you don't miss out on any of our future videos. Thanks for watching.